By the way, just quickly, he wants to have Nazi Germany generals. He wants to have Hitler's generals like Hitler serving under him. Okay, let's just unpack one part of that for just a moment. I was told yesterday by several members of the United States Marine Corps that if you're in the officer corps and you are studying battle theory, that one of the generals now I can't confirm this. Maybe one of you Marines out there can call in and say, yes, it is. Justin, Tommy told me this. If you're studying war strategy, one of the generals you will be required to know a lot about and will be encouraged, or you have to study, is a guy whose last name is Rommel. Gee, wait a minute. I know that guy's name. Rommel. I know that dude's name. Wait a minute, don't tell me. I can name that guy, and don't tell me. No, he was a Pole. No, he wasn't a Pole. He was with General Franco. He was with Generalissimo Franco in Spain. No, it wasn't in Spain. He was in a Revolutionary War. He was with Baron von Steuben. No. Damn it. What? Oh, wait. I know. He was a Nazi. He was a German. Now, I'm only throwing this out there because this idea here that Trump is running I only want German generals under me. I want them to go out there and I want to round people up and kill them. Rommel was very respected by Eisenhower. He was the Desert Fox, I want to say. Isn't that right? You military guys, help me out. Yeah, Will Nell 71 in the chat room. By the way, chat room's hopping again. We're making American Talk Radio chat rooms great again at crusadechannel.com/chat. There it is, Dr. Torres. Thank you very much. Erwin Rommel. Johann Erwin Eugene Rommel was an American German general field marshal during World War II, popularly known as the Desert Fox. So wait a minute, I'm going to hit you guys with one more here. When some leftard corners you at the water cooler, starts screaming at you and accusing you of being a Nazi because you like Trump, you're going to vote for Trump, and you're a MAGA guy, and then, you want German generals, so they'll obey you. I think you're misreading German generals. General Klaus von Stauffenberg. Okay, now I want to be a German general. Am I a Nazi? Who was Klaus von Stauffenberg? Well, Tom Cruise made a movie about it. It's called Operation Valkyrie. Great film. You ever seen it? There were a couple of other generals in there that were with Klaus von Stauffenberg. You know, it's said by some that Stauffenberg was basically somewhat of a martyr for the faith. He actually tried to kill Hitler. That's what the whole film Operation Valkyrie is. That's a German general. You see, folks, they just want you to focus on the word Nazi. They don't actually mean that there's anything wrong with some German generals, because obviously we all went to, back when that movie came out, it was the #1 film at the box office. No one demonized you because you went to go see a movie about Klaus von Stauffenberg, did they? I was never demonized. I talked about it on the air. You want to be led by German generals? You're a Nazi. Nobody ever accused me of being a Nazi. Let's just pretend for a moment that Trump said that. Could he possibly, if he did, is it possible that he was saying that about Rommel? Maybe he was talking about Klaus von Stauffenberg. The point is that this blanket, they'd love to accuse us of stereotyping people. You don't see a human being. You just see a gay. You see a homo. No, I actually see a soul. I see a soul that is in danger of going to being sentenced at judgment to the lowest pit in hell, and to repeat the awful, 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 sinful things that it is doing here on earth for eternity, with the added twist that it will be done in great pain And I don't want that to happen to a person. I love people. Look on the TV right now, Maggie Flat. It was examples of Republicans that have been accused of being Nazis. They accused Nixon of being a Nazi and a Hitler sympathizer. They accused Reagan of being a Nazi and a Hitler sympathizer. They accused Barry Goldwater of being a Nazi and a Hitler sympathizer. They accused Mitt Romney, of being a Nazi and of being a Nazi sympathizer. Nixon won. Reagan won. Well, we won't talk about Romney. So this paranoia out there, this is actually a psyop. There's a great piece. I want all of you to, the graphics up again on Fox. There's examples of the left using extreme rhetoric against GOP. Goldwater, Nixon, Ford, Reagan, and then Bush. Soros said he reminds me of Germans. This is amazing here. And the Democrats have no tricks left in their bag. But what's happening here is their constituencies are going like, you screwed my life up. My life is crap. I voted for you. I believed in you. And look, I got nothing. I'm asking for a divorce and I'm leaving. This is the opposite of what the Shape is doing. You know what, Maggie? Do you have Killary queued up? All right, let's go with Killary. But then we're going to go back to digital media foul number one, because I'm just going to demonstrate something to you about the Shape and how the Shape is treating President Trump now as if he used to be her boyfriend. And he was my boyfriend. Cloris Leachman said famously in Young Frankenstein, she is now acting like she's asking for a restraining order, and the story about him and why she needs a restraining order just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. She is literally, and it's almost like she's following the guy around. You know what he did yesterday? He was so tired he couldn't even come to the debate. She's a freaking stalker. She has become a stalker. All right, here's Killary.
You're referencing what General John Kelly has said, that his former boss meets the definition of a fascist. And I know you've said before that recently you said that Trump uses blatantly fascist rhetoric. Do you agree with John Kelly, with Vice President Harris, that Donald Trump does meet the definition of a fascist?
You know, Caitlin, I do. And it's not only people like former Chief of Staff Marine General John Kelly who is telling us this and warning us. It's people who have really studied what fascism is and what fascist leadership looks like. People like Professor Timothy Snyder, people like former Professor Paxton, who just recently came out and said that he had studied fascism during the war, particularly the Nazis, Vichy France, and he'd been reluctant to use the term. But he had concluded, as so many people now are, that sadly, here in America, the term fits. And, you know, one other thing that you'll see next week, Caitlin, is Trump actually reenacting the Madison Square Garden rally in 1939. I write about this in my book. President Franklin Roosevelt was appalled that neo-Nazis, fascists in America were lining up to essentially pledge their support for the kind of government that they were seeing in Germany. So I don't think we can ignore it. Now, it may be a leap for some people, and a lot of others may think, I don't want to go there. I don't want to say that. But please, open your eyes to the danger that this man poses to our country, because I think it is clear and present for anybody paying attention.
They have to have this iconography, and they have to be able to dredge up these images here, these goblins that are out there, these Nazis that are running around from the World War II movies, and Trump running around with growing a little Hitler mustache and screaming and hollering at people and ordering them about and trampling upon them. There is nothing in the historical record that I can find of Adolf Hitler being a man of the people. As a matter of fact, it's probably more accurate to say that Adolf Hitler was actually a paranoid delusional. This man was terrible. He was like Michael Jackson with the germs and stuff. He was absolutely horrified of contact with other people. He was a weirdo. He didn't go out. He didn't do philanthropic works. He didn't go into the neighborhoods. He didn't feed anyone. He didn't buy anyone Big Macs or the 1936 equivalent of it. It was the exact opposite here. So all the comparisons, because this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to make Trump out to be Hitler. Well, after you've done this for 40 years, it just doesn't work anymore. You said Reagan was Hitler. We survived Reagan. You said Nixon was Hitler. We survived Nixon. You said Goldwater was Hitler. Johnson beat Goldwater. I looked this up. The German-American Bund. Now, this is according, I'm going to use what's probably a biased source. But it's history.com. Americans hold a Nazi rally in Madison Square Garden. She's actually accusing him that this is going to be the 2024 version of what happened in 1939. 6.5 months before Hitler invaded Poland, New York City's Madison Square Garden hosted a rally to celebrate the rise of Nazism in Germany. Inside, more than 20,000 attendees raised Nazi salutes toward a 30-foot tall portrait of George Washington, flanked by swastikas. $100. Anyone wants to bet? $100 says the Freemasons put this on. Anyone want to take the bet? You put a statue of Washington there, Masons. Almost guarantee this was the work of Masons. Outside, police and some 100,000 protesters gathered. The organization behind the February 29, 1939 event, advertised on the arena's marquee as a pro-American rally, was the German-American Bund. Bund is German for federation. The anti-Semitic organization held Nazi summer camps for Utes and their families during the 1930s. The Bund's Ute members were present that night, as were the Ordnungsdienst. The OD, the group's vigilante police force, who dressed in the style of Hitler's SS officers. Banners at the rally had messages like "Stop Jewish Domination of Christian Americans" and "Wake Up America, Smash Jewish Communism." When the Bund's national leader, Fritz Kuhn, gave his closing speech, he referred to President Roosevelt as Rosenfield and Manhattan District Attorney Thomas Dewey as Thomas Jewy. And then there's more on this. This doesn't sound like any MAGA rally I've ever broadcast or ever covered. As a matter of fact, it sounds like pretty much the exact opposite of a MAGA rally. It sounds pretty repugnant to me. As a matter of fact, it sounds downright detestable to me. Doesn't it sound that way to you? Would you go to it? Well, Killary is basically saying that a bunch of MAGA dupes that live in New York City and nearby New Jersey and Connecticut are going to go to this rally in Madison Square Garden coming up next Tuesday, and are going to reenact it. No, what'd you say?
I said, so just the mere fact that he's holding a rally at the same place this rally was held, that makes it Nazi-ish? I don't understand it.
You're not looking
How
at
many
it.
different things have happened at Madison Square Garden?
You're
concerts?
not looking at it correctly. That's right. The next time the Knicks play in Madison Square Garden, that's a Nazi rally too. It's just code. The next time what's the hockey team? Is that the Rangers? Next time the New York Rangers. I actually went to a New York Rangers game at Madison Square Garden. I guess I didn't even know. I didn't even realize it was held at MSG. It must have been a Nazi rally. Maybe, hey, Killary, I have an idea. I think Maggie's onto something. Maybe we should just tear down Madison Square Garden. There was a bad event that happened there once. That means that all events that come there afterward must be terrible and must be tainted and inspired by said bad event. Why don't we just demolish it?
We took down statues.
That's right. That's right. This is an enduring legacy of anti-Semitism. Hillary shrieks. You see how ridiculous this is. How preposterous this is. But this is an insult. How many good, red-blooded, honest, Christian, Catholic, hardworking, tax-paying, law-abiding American citizens, that rally is sold out, by the way. It's sold out in like 30 seconds, are going to attend that rally because they think Hillary and her gang have so effed up the United States, and this guy, this Trump guy, says he can fix it. You know, they also said, seemingly just take for granted that Donald Trump of Mar-a-Lago was president for 4 years. I don't recall any Nazi banners. I don't recall any rallies. I don't recall American citizens being arrested. I don't recall people that he disagreed with being hounded down and then rounded up and then shot by the military. I don't recall any internment camps or anything of the sort. You're supposed to ignore it. Well, he just didn't get to it that time because he had wonderful people like John Kelly there to stop him.